Well, hello guys, Jonah here. Another beer review incoming, and it's another one from the Time Hop series from Siren. This one's quite interesting because this particular beer, I could not find any information within the magazine at all. So I'm probably going to be relying on, I should get my glasses, put those bad boys, well, have them on my head at the very least, and have a look at this one. It is another one of the Time Hop series this year. This one is the Strata version, and it's in part teamed up with Fort George Brewing, but also Indie Hops, which where is Indie Hops? Is that what that says? No. Haven't got their logo, I don't think, on there, unless it's right there. But you are more than welcome to scan that QR code and find out some details. There is a very interesting spider diagram. We have got lots of citrus, lots of tropical. What's that one say? Stone fruit, berries, etc., etc. This is a 6.2. I was going to say 6.5. 6.2 hazy IPA, and it sits nicely. Anything over 6, I would say, is an IPA, even a hazy one. So Time Hop, it tells you about the Time Hop, blah blah blah. You can look at previous videos or read that for yourself. Strata is a great example of interplay between science and nature. Popping with strawberry, dank and tropical complexity, we're capturing this delicious potential in a soft and hazy IPA. What have we got? Beer, vegan friendly. Oats and wheat in this bad boy, which is pretty damn cool, I would say. And yeah, Strata is an interesting hop. I'm not an expert on this, but interesting hop. The malts, we've got some oats and wheat in there, and the other one's extra pale. The other hop in here, so the Strata in here, but there is also Citra in here. So none of these beers are single hop beers, which I think is a real missed opportunity. Yeah, I think it should be. If you're doing something focusing on a specific hop, it should be a single hop beer. Not necessarily a single malt as well, but a single hop. Anyway, I haven't done much brewing for a while, but yeah, that is my point of view. We go for an aggressive pour because I'm expecting there to be some haze in there. It's supposed to be a hazy IPA, and Jesus, not much haze. You can see my noggin through there. See that can? Also, yeah, you can more or less see the logo through there. That is not what I would call a hazy beer, my friends. We have got, say, 3/4 of a finger down to a knuckle, knuckle deep. Yeah. Did he just say that? Yeah. Yes, I did. There we go. There is a nice headshot, as it were. Let's see if there's a bit of. This has been in the fridgie for, yeah, more or less a day. Yeah, you can still see things through that. That is not what I would call a hazy beer. Very strange. Right, let's go in there. Yeah, I'm getting the berry. Yeah, especially kind of strawberry. I was going to say, oh, it's tropical berries, but no, it isn't. It's more, yeah, it's more strawberry. I don't know. Don't know about the dankness. Definitely not on the nose. I'm going to swirl this around a little bit because this is a really, yeah, really light, really fresh. Interesting. I would call that, I don't know, more of a maybe a straw-coloured beer. If I was being generous, but I don't know if this is actually a hazy. Oh my god. Cheers and beers. Let's get into this one. Oh, oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so strawberry, as I said, definitely coming through in this beer, which is, I guess, the Strata thing. There is some tropicalness kind of in the background. That's going to be coming from the Citra, I guess. The dankness, I'm not getting at all. Um, yeah, I don't think there's that, because dank to me says kind of green, that type of thing, pine, pine forest, that sort of thing, which I sometimes get from Citra. Although these days, I very much suspect that the interactions between the old school yeast, wow, pardon me, quite a good amount of carbonation in this bad boy. Yeah, the yeast and the hops has changed over the years. Citra, especially in hazy IPAs or hazy beers, tends to come through in more tropical notes, especially when you've got oats and stuff in there. Yeah, oats and wheat? Really? How much blooming oats and wheat did you put in this bad boy? Hardly any at all, I would say. There's no sense of kind of cream, or maybe a tiny suggestion. Um, it's quite a light tasting beer too. The mouthfeel is definitely not kind of following through as perhaps it would do in more of a kind of, yeah, chewy kind of IPA. Really, really weird. But oh, that strawberry taste and the berries, if it's not strawberry, it's some other kind of red berries. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and it's 6.2. My God, I could really get in trouble drinking this beer because it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, really, really liking this one. Is it hazy? No, not in my book. Is it an IPA? Yes. Is it a good example of the hop, in this case Strata, even though Citra is there in the kind of in the background? Maybe they've used the Citra more for the bitterness and let the Strata come through in the taste and the aroma. Um, wow, really, really enjoying that. Oh, getting like a hint of kind of mint now, which is interesting. But yeah, this is a fantastic beer. If you see this one out and about on your travels, or if you go to Siren, their tap room over in sort of near Reading Way, if I remember rightly, they will definitely have this. Um, and yeah, I forgot to say the other day, Siren and Elusive Brewing brew on the same compound, so it was no surprise that the beer the other day had the Elusive as part of their yeah, part of their repertoire. This one though, totally different. I will need to find out who these guys are. Fort George. Where are they from? Does it say underneath? I think. Oh, I go. Cheers and beers. And then, hopefully, it will focus, damn you. What's the secret for getting it to focus? Do you remember? I always have problems with this. Could be due to the lighting. You know what? I need a new camera. I've been saying it for years. I definitely do need a new camera. But I've got a new glasses. What does that say? Does that say Canada? Can't read that. Oh my god. Something. It definitely says, but it will not focus. There we go. What does that say? Can you guys read that? That is so annoying. My eyes, dear viewer, even with these on, even with the goggles on, I cannot read what that says. And it wasn't in the blooming magazine either. Otherwise, I would tell you. Um, but yeah, really, really good. I'm liking that. Oh, the last sip, even more berry explosion in the mouth. Maybe a little bit of little bit of thickness because it kind of settles out to the bottom. Yeah, great bit. I really enjoyed that one. That is the example of Strata Bobs from the Siren Time Hop series. This is really cool. I've said it in other videos, but I remember, yeah, going to the Siren stand. I've done it a few times actually. Back 5, maybe 6, 7 years ago, when the Great British Beer Festival was over at Olympia. Siren were it was Siren and Vocation were my top two breweries that were there. And Vocation turned into my best friend Jim from school. We'd known each other for years and years. It's his favourite, or it was his favourite brewery, because unfortunately he has, he's passed on. He's keeping the bar in the sky, ready for me when it is my time, and I hope he's going to have a beer waiting on the bar for me. Yeah, you never know when that will be, do you? Guys, this has been Unclejona. Hopefully you've enjoyed this beer as well, or this review of a beer, I should say, because like a lot of things, I try and think in the moment, and hopefully that comes across in my videos. I've had good feedback over the years, but I really enjoy doing it, and I really enjoy talking to you guys. So that's something that does cheer me up. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll be back with another beer review, and that'll be coming up real soon.